never actually made it through an entire movie because one of my brothers insists on going at 12 o'clock at night and does a late showing, and then when they're 3 hours long, I've never finished a Harry Potter movie. I know that some of you are heartbroken right now. Some of you haven't seen Star Wars. So let's make a pact. You watch the greatest movies of all time, and I put up with your Harry Potter stuff. Hello, adventure! So, we get to dive right back into the wonderful world of Twitter. But in our last episodes, we kind of gave you an overview. We gave you a little bit of a map of the territory. Now what I want to show you how to do is actually post. You see, one of the biggest problems that you run into is that people don't understand the language of it. Remember, there's 3 different things that you can do. You have the favorite. That's like give them a high five. You can reply, and that's just having a conversation. And then you have retweet, and that becomes the recommendation. But you see, it's not just that simple, because each one of those has even some different ways to do that. So what we're gonna do is we are going to jump right into this cockpit, and we're gonna take off and show you this wonderful world of Twitter. So come with me right over here. So I'm gonna write a tweet, and what I'm gonna write a tweet is I just had gotten a shirt in from my friend. So I am going to say my new favorite shirt, hashtag let's go camping. So you see, I am always, just to raise my influence, I'm gonna use maybe 2 different hashtags. So I have hashtag let's go camping, hashtag t-shirt. I'm going to go to my photo, and then right here, it's gonna attach my photo. And remember, this really increases your engagement when you have a photo. So what's great about Twitter that a lot of people don't know is that in here, I could even crop this photo if I wanted to. So if I wanted to have it go wide, or if I wanted to go square. So like in this case, I can crop in a little bit on it, and then I can even adjust filters. And what's cool is I can adjust how much of that filter. Okay, so I have my tweet and I'm ready to go here, but I sometimes will use emojis. The thing about that you have to be careful of is that Twitter still, if you're not looking at it on a smartphone, you won't see some of those emojis. They'll just be kind of some blank squares. There's also a way that I can bring other people into it. So this particular shirt I got from a friend. So I'm gonna say thanks at Torio. Sent me that in the mail. So now what I just did is that is her unique Twitter name. So wherever I mention her, she's gonna get a notification of that. Now I want to talk about reply. So that means that everybody is going to get this particular tweet. So anybody that's following me, it's going to show up on their timeline. But something that's kind of interesting, the way that Twitter is written, the way they have their code is if you start any sentence, any tweet with the @ at Torio, thanks for winning your shirt. It's my favorite. Now here's what's interesting if I send this. Because it is starting with the @ it only goes to Tori, and it only goes to anybody else that is following Tori and following me. If I want to say happy birthday to somebody, I'm not going to put happy birthday at Jeremiah Lloyd, because I might not want that to go out to everyone when I tweet. But if I say at Jeremiah Lloyd, happy birthday, then that's super thoughtful because he gets that notification, but everybody else that doesn't know Jeremiah, they don't see it. But if you follow me and you follow Jeremiah and we're all friends together, you get to see it. It's amazing. And I think so many people don't understand that that's how Twitter works, is that when you put that in front of there, you might see where somebody has put a dot. Let me explain why you do that. So instead of just putting out a post that says, attention everybody at the conference, there's food trucks on 54th Street, we can reply back, hey, at Torio, if you're looking for food trucks, check out 54th Street, bring us back something fun. But when I put the dot in front, it breaks that idea where that the tweet doesn't start with the @ now. So what that means is that everybody gets that tweet. It's just like it was a regular tweet. It just now looks like I'm replying to her. So now it's more thoughtful. Now more people will pay attention, and now you're going to increase your influence and engagement just because you understand that any tweet that starts with @ only goes to that person and anybody they're following. So I put a period and it just breaks their formula. It doesn't have to be a period, by the way. You can do whatever you want. So if I go here, it's going to see retweet or quote tweet. Now, quote tweet is essentially the old style. And so if I would tweet that, quote tweet or an old style retweet, it allows you, you don't have to just have it be the way they had it. Edit that, because if everybody else doesn't edit it, then they're part of the noise. You have an advantage when you edit it and make it more thoughtful. Now, that is that old style. And so if I go to quote retweet, you see what it will do here is it will say quote @ Jeremiah Lloyd, Jonathan is filming during. Now, I never use just that. So again, depending on what program you're using, it might put RT in there. When I'm using retweet and I'm using the old style, I feel like I have a lot more license. So I'm even changing what he's saying. So it now says filming a 100 ed video on Twitter, so I not tweet during it. And this has the URL for the image upload. And then what I'll always do is I'll put maybe via @ and then I can just paste what I had here, via @ Jeremiah Lloyd. And so I don't like to put the RT. I also don't like to put quotes because quotes are going to take up an extra character. So now I'm filming a 100-day adventure video on Twitter, so I not tweet during it, via @ Jeremiah Lloyd. So I am giving him kind of credit for that, and I want people to know that. But see, that is different. I'm just putting that one part out. If I go to a new style retweet, here's where you gotta be careful. When I hit this, it's not gonna ask me anything. I hit it, and like I said, it's like Jeremiah, I gave him one of my tweets. You see, these are just my tweets, but it's like I gave him that billboard space, right? I gave him that part. I say, I am endorsing that person. See, look at this. That both was retweeting, but you see how it's showing up different? This is where I just said, I'm not gonna edit it, and I'm just retweeting it. This one, that is where, when it comes to this post, I retweeted it, but you see, it doesn't even show as a retweet, because what I did was I just loaded it up and I made sure that I mentioned him in there. So now some of you are like, that makes more sense. I didn't that cockpit was overwhelming. I didn't know what those words meant. They had to be translated. So here's what I need you to do. Start interacting and having conversations. Make sure that you're liking and giving those high fives and hugs. That over time builds your influence, and you know what? It makes somebody's day. So there's so many different ways that you can now interact. Start interacting with your Twitter feed. Get used to that, because we just have some amazing opportunities with Twitter. What we're able to start to do with Twitter, as soon as you start getting these basics down, it is gonna blow your mind what is possible, because Twitter is gonna be a great tool for your adventure, and it begins right now.